What's going on, everyone? Welcome back out to the Cleveland Policy YouTube channel. I am your host, Justin Harold, and with me, as always, my co host, Jeff Santa. Today, we are bringing you guys just the latest with the Browns, a super interesting offseason, and it doesn't stop now. Jadeveon Clowney re signing for 1 year. I'm looking at it, it says 11 mil, correct, Jeff?
Yes.
So what I'm seeing from Ian Rappaport right now, Clowney wanted to come back to Cleveland. How badly he turned down 14 to 15 million year offers from other teams on multi-year deals to go back.
Whoa.
This is what I am seeing from uh, Ian Rappaport. I'll send that over to you, Jeff, while we digest that little bit of news.
Got it.
But that solidifies the defensive end position and the defensive line a little bit more than what it was beforehand, which was, I think, somewhat in shambles, some could say, with only
Yep.
Myles Garrett being the, tenured player to actually produce on the D line as of, Jadeveon Clowney signing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it was an inevitable move, but it's the NFL. Crazy stuff happens, so you can't pencil anything in until the deal is agreed to, until it's done. So we've seen this. We knew that Clowney takes a while. I don't know if he just doesn't want to do any of the offseason stuff. Like, I don't know what it is, but as long as he's consistent about it, which he has been, I guess it's okay. So yeah, 11 mil. That's great. That's a great tag.
Yeah, I mean that's what 1 million above what we got him for last year, and he produced.
Yeah, he was worth it last year for
Yeah,
sure.
he was definitely worth it. I think he's worth it again. It's interesting that we can only pin him down for the 1 year. However, I think that's beneficial because I'm in the hopes that Alex Wright becomes a good player after a year of sitting behind two phenomenal D ends, and there will always be other draft choices in the future and whatnot. But now looking at the, well, Jeff brings up this tweet. I think the only
Someone's
thing
excited.
remaining, yeah, I think the only thing remaining is to find out what our defensive tackles are about, because I don't think you'll see another free agency move. I think that's probably the last thing you see get done now. The team is probably solidified outside of cuts happening, and this is the group of guys that you'll have coming into camp. So like Jeff said, the deal was definitely, I think, every week it was like you see every day is like, this would be a good day to sign Jadeveon Clowney. Well, it
Right.
finally happens. I'm interested because you only get him back on the 1 year, and he turns down supposedly multi-year deals with 14 to 15 million to boot. I don't know what do you think the thought process is?
Honestly, like I just think I think he likes the 1 year. He doesn't love being attached to, well, we've seen him not be attached to teams for very long, which is,
Right.
like I said, kind of his thing. But it's like, I don't know. I do get what you're saying though, because there's still a lot of question marks this year. If you don't have Deshaun Watson the whole year, it's kind of like, why only sign the 1 year?
Right.
If Deshaun Watson was 100% playing the whole year, the 1 year, it really screams a lot of sense, because it's like your
Right.
window is basically now, especially for him. Like is he like 30?
Yeah, he's getting up there. He's been in the league for
Yeah,
a
he's
long
up there.
while.
He's getting old, so it's like you might not want to attach yourself to a multi-year deal. But if that's true that he turned down bigger offers, I think that the bigger offers were from teams where he was going to have to be the premier edge.
Yeah,
And there's no
absolutely.
reason for him to be doing that. Like, it's $3-4 million, maybe, well, whatever. If it's 15 for 2 years, then it's
He's still getting a
considerably
lot of
more.
money to be the number two guy.
So much money for a number two, and he's never getting any better looks unless
Right.
unless Pittsburgh was offering him 15 million with TJ Watt, or the Rams or somebody, which they weren't. It would be my assumption. You're not getting any better looks being on the other side of Myles Garrett.
Yeah. No, and I mean what he did with Myles Garrett is I think was his like best year in terms of quarterback pressures and just overall pressure in general. I'm trying to find his stats because he was never a
Good
phenomenal pass rusher. Is the
good
thing.
run defender, and our D tackles kind of needed the run defense help. And two, it's really coming down to the advanced analytics. sacks are cool, but the dude was always in the backfield,
Yep.
like when he was on the field.
Yep, absolutely. No, he was a phenomenal player. He rounds out the defense now, which, we should take a look at that depth chart sometime soon, going into training camp and all that, because we definitely have to talk about, situations where there's going to be position battles. What are they going to do in terms with the Baker Mayfield, spot on the team? Are they just going to keep him rostered the whole year? Clowney now signing. Like, we have a lot of guys. Again, I think it was the same case last year where we had a lot of dudes that we liked coming into training camp, and some didn't make it, and some, some interesting guys did. So that's pretty much it. I'm glad to have Clowney back. I think him being a number 2 D end, a former number 1 overall pick like Myles Garrett, and still a phenomenal player when he's healthy.
Yep.
I think this is a win-win. I would have liked to get him for like maybe 2 years. I would have given up a little bit more if we could have gotten him for like 2 years, but it is what it is. You never know with him. If he gets injured, then it was a little bit like a steal, but if not, still has his choice to do whatever he wants afterwards. So, Jeff, anything else before we call this one quits?
I think the little hidden value in this too is that, and of course, when being Browns fans, I think people tend to do this in the media, on Twitter, whatever. But I've seen a lot of people say Alex Wright is kind of like Jadeveon Clowney, not as talented, not as highly touted, but like he could get there. Bigger frame, kind of a huge guy. So you get Clowney back on the other side of Myles Garrett, and now you get a year of Alex Wright, sitting behind both of them. So that's big for me.
Well, hopefully he turns out to be a little bit like a Tack McKinley who can, refresh those guys, come in and give those guys a
third guy in the rotation.
Yeah, that's the perfect situation. And that's a lot of, what we like to talk about here in terms of like trying to get into the nitty gritty about everything. And I think that's what we were hoping for when we made that pick with Alex, right? I think there were some other guys on the board, or when we still had the original pick that, in a year you could have argued could have been a number 1 guy or a number 2 guy on their own. But I do like the idea of guys sitting, learning a little bit, or playing a conservative role while learning. So it's a very good look for the team overall as of right now. And who knows, maybe the defense will be getting on that offensive boat and going on a trip sometime soon. So hopefully maybe that's why he signed now. He's like,
maybe
hey, guys are going to the Bahamas.
Right.
Let's go hop on this train.
Right. Good point.
All right, everyone. Well, make sure you guys are liking and subscribing. We're going to have some more Browns news for you guys later on. I know that training camp is going to start, it's getting closer and closer every day. There's, a little bit of development with the Deshaun Watson stuff. Don't know if we'll hear anytime soon, but we should be getting games in terms of a suspension or no games, depending on how it goes, and lots else. So make sure you guys are subscribing, commenting, letting us know what you guys are thinking. And that all being said, we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.